Chapter 4 Expansion of the Branches of Rigveda. At the beginning of creation, Rigveda contained all the 4 Vedas with 100,000 mantras. That Rigveda helped a lot in the propagation of 10 kinds of yajnas. Then during the 28th Dwapar, my son, Krishnadvaipayan effected the division of Rigveda in 4 Vedas. At the same time, he also trained 4 of his distinguished disciples in the study of Vedas. Each one of them was interested with the study of one particular Veda for infinite period of time. Accordingly, Sage Pale mastered in Rigveda, Vaishampayan in Yajurveda, Jaimini in Samaveda, and Sumantu in Atharvaveda. With the 4 Vedas, practice of Chaturhotra also came into being. Chaturhotra is now the main guiding feature of all kinds of yajnas. Vyas also established the karmas of Adhvarayu by Yajurveda, of Hota by Rigveda, of Udgata by Samaveda and of Brahma by Atharvaveda. Sage Pale divided Rigveda into 2 divisions and taught them to 2 of his disciples Indrapramiti and Vashkal. In his turn, Vashkal divided his branch into 4 sub-branches and taught them to his disciples. Indrapramiti taught his branch of Rigveda to his talented son, Sage Mandukeya. Thus branches and sub-branches of Rigveda grew substantially. In this tradition, Shakya Vedamitra learnt a Sanhita and divided it into 5 sub-branches. One of his disciples, named Shakpurna, created 3 Sanhitas, whereas his another disciple created Nirukta Grantha. Vashkal created 3 Sanhitas and taught them to Kaleni, Garagya and Tathaja. Chapter 5 Description of the branches of Yajurveda. A disciple of Veda Vyas named Vaishampayan created 27 branches of Yajurveda and taught them to his disciples. He had a disciple Yagyavalkya who was the son of Brahmarat. At that time, all the sages together constituted a rule that whoever did not join their group within 7 days on Mahameru would be held as a sinner equal to killing a Brahman. Only Vaishampayan had violated that ruling. The curse of the sages did come true when Vaishampayan killed his sleeping nephew accidentally. Then he asked his disciples to do away with his sin. Yagyavalkya said, Lord, all these Brahmans are extremely dull. I will alone do away with your sin. These boastful words infuriated Vaishampayan. He said, You are insulting these Brahmans. So at once, regurgitate whatever I have taught you. Yagyavalkya said, Lord, I uttered these words out of devotion for you. Still you wish me to regurgitate what you have taught me. Hear it is. Saying this, Yagyavalkya vomited out all the Shrutis of Yajurveda. Other disciples of Vaishampayan pecked them in the form of partridges. Since then, they came to be known as Tatriya Brahmans. Holding his breath, Yagyavalkya then started the worship of the sun with a desire to regain Yajurveda. Pleased by his prayers, Surya appeared before him in horse form and asked him to seek a boon. Yagyavalkya requested Surya to preach him those Shrutis of Yajurveda, which were not known even to his teacher, Vaishampayan. Surya preached him those Shrutis of Yajurveda, which were known as Aityam. The Brahmans who read these Shrutis came to be known as Vaji. Nowadays, there are 15 sub-branches of these Vaji Shrutis, which were initially expounded by Sage Yagyavalkya. Chapter 6 Branches of Samaveda and 18 Puranas. Sage Jaimini, a disciple of Vedavyas, effected branches of Samaveda. Sage Jaimini had a son, Sumantu. Sumantu in turn had a son, Sukarn. Both of them studied a branch of Samaveda each. Sukarn divided his branch of Samaveda into sub-branches and taught them to his two disciples Kaushalya, Hiranyanabh and Paushpinji. Hiranyanabh had 500 disciples. Upon receiving the knowledge of Samaveda branch from Hiranyanabh, these disciples came to be known as Prachya Samag. Disciples of Paushpinji also effected divisions in Samaveda that they received from their teacher. One more disciple of Hiranyanabh named Kriti taught 24 Sanhitas of Samaveda to his disciples. Sage Sumant taught Atharvaveda to his disciple Kabandh. Kabandh divided it into two parts and taught them to Devdarsh and Patya respectively. A disciple of Patya named Shaunak divided his Sanhita into two parts and gave one of them to his disciple Vabhru and another to Sandhav. Sandhav's disciple Munjikesh divided his Sanhita into three parts. Presently, 5 Sanhitas of Atharvaveda, namely Nakshatrakalpa, Vedkalpa, Samhitakalpa, Angiraskalpa and Shantikalpa, are considered authentic. Still unsatisfied by his achievement, sage Veda Vyas created Purana Sanhita and taught them to his famous disciple Romaharshan Suta. The Sanhita that was created by Romaharshan was the base of 3 Sanhitas, Akritvarana, Savarni and Shansapayan created by Kashyapa Gotriya Brahmans. Vishnu Purana is in a way a summation of these 4 Sanhitas. There are in all 18 Puranas. In chronological order, these are as follows: Brahma Purana, Padma Purana, Vaishnav Purana, Shiva Purana, Bhagavad Purana, Narada Purana, Markande Purana, Agni Purana, Bhavishya Purana, Brahmvavar Purana, Linga Purana, Varha Purana, Skand Purana, Vaman Purana, Kurma Purana, Matsya Purana, Garuda Purana and Brahman Purana. Chapter 7 Yamagita. Maitreya says, Lord, at the end of a lifespan, all the people come to be controlled by Yamraj. When they are bound to undergo scores of suffering in different kinds of hells. Kindly narrate about such action by which a human being gets free from the noose of Yamraj. Parashar says, youngest among the Pandavas, Nakul had once put the same question before Pitmaha Bhisma. I am narrating what once Bhisma had narrated to Nakul. Before sending, Yamraj advises his agents to stay away from the devotee of Lord Krishna. Yamraj is Lord of all the human beings except Vaishnavas. Only Lord Vishnu is able to control Yamraj. About the devotee of Lord Vishnu, Yamraj says, he who does not deviate from his duties even in severest of crisis, who does not steal the wealth of others and kill animals is undoubtedly a devotee of Lord Vishnu. He who bears Lord Vishnu in his heart is a devotee of Lord Vishnu. He who is free from all kinds of ego and illusions and always wishes well for the others with pure and peaceful heart is a devotee of Lord Vishnu. Thus those who always contemplate on Lord Vishnu don't even fear death. Yam, Yamdut, Yampash, Yamgana and even tortures of Yam are unable to hurt them.